Hello from Oregon. Hi, Ray. Welcome, welcome to Mastery Monday, May 5th, 2025. Pleasure to be here with you. It's always a pleasure to connect and share this space together. And I look forward to what we all get to co-create in this space. And I'm going to okay, great. All the volume is right on. Let's see. Rainbow over the ocean here in Kona, Hawaii. Hi, Mary. Thank you. And love and blessings from Southern Alberta. Perfect. Thank you, Teresa, for being here. Oh, I love our global community that gets to co-create in this space. So today I think we're going to have a fun ride through our moment now in this timeline to bring our celebration and honor to ourself, to our unique path, to the openness and the experience of what's happening in our life right now, so that we can really center and ground and create that strength of our life force energy into the now, and really share this element of just the preciousness of our own life, our own unique self, our own timeline. And so I will go deeper into that in a moment. So let's begin our short grounding, presencing meditation. Then I'll share more. We'll go into the deeper meditation, and then we'll have some time at the end for people if you want to ask questions or share about anything. So inviting you in this moment to take a deep breath in, or to just notice your breath. Noticing how you're breathing. Bringing your attention and awareness to your body, to your breath. Noticing your inhale and exhale. Noticing your presence, your body, your state of being. Inviting yourself to be present here in this moment with your breath coming in and out of your body. Inviting it to slow down. Inviting your mind to quiet. Inviting your eyes to relax, your jaw to relax, your shoulders to relax. Inviting your breath to deepen into your belly. Inviting your hips to relax and allowing yourself to settle into your seat even more. Feeling your feet on the ground or however they're positioned. Invite your breath to go through your whole body. Your breath, a light breeze of fresh air through your whole being. You allow anything that took place before this moment to ground and settle. Inviting a white golden light to come around your body, and with your breath expanding that light above you, below you, in front of you, behind you, all around you. Be held in a pure space of light, inviting any cords that you have from anybody, any place, anything, on any level, in any time or space, to release from your body, your energy body. go back to source or to wherever it needs to go. Calling your energy home to yourself here into this moment. Through that white golden light, just pure energy of yourself, wherever it's been, welcoming it home to you to fill you up. And inviting your mind to quiet. Inviting your presence, your awareness, your wholeness, your presence, your power, your truth, your beauty, your light, your wisdom, your guidance to be here right now in this moment with you. Fully, freely, powerfully. Finding a center point within your body as we bring a white light down from above your head down through the center of your head, the center of your neck, the center all the way down through your torso, down through your root, to the floor, down into the pure crystalline heart of Mother Earth. Ground, connect, open. More of your pure presence and the pure presence of life itself. We invite this light to flow up from Mother Earth through the center channel of the body, up through the spine, the spinal cord, and the column, flowing all the way up to source above you and flowing all around your body, a waterfall of beautiful light all around you. We invite this light, beautiful light, grounded, centered light to flow through the center space of our circle here, of all that are present and all that are on the replay. Be held. With pure fluid light of consciousness and love. Breathing through your heart. Take a moment to connect with your heart, maybe any intentions of what you'd like to bring into this space today in the I am for your highest good. A lot of intentions flowing in here, yes. Beautiful. And letting the light of this space hold them and allow all that's needed for them in the highest good for you to allow themselves to come to you in divine timing, perfect perfection yourself. Well, taking a deep breath in, feeling your hands, feeling your feet. You can stay with your eyes closed or you can open them. Start to become present with the space around you, as I'll share more and give an energy update, as well as just share some things about honoring your timeline and what that means, especially right now on this planet and what's taking place. So go through some of emails and groups that I was holding, previously when I was sharing the energy updates, I was just sharing what was happening with the inner earth and the earth itself. There was in the previous weeks a lot of interference happening with the inner earth, and a lot of shrouding and a lot of cloaking of the brilliance of the consciousness, especially when we were going through a lot of those deeper pulses of light towards the end of April for our own transformation and bringing forth the energetics that were really amplifying, our truth, amplifying, what we really do want to create and allow and flow into our lives. And with that came the purging, as well as the amplifying of our pure essence. And through these first week of May, there's been just a beautiful blossoming and opening, and a release of the shrouds and the veils from inner earth, and a real resurgence of that light of the living consciousness, as well as all the beings that support in the inner earth, you know, the indigenous peoples that are holding those realms, the crystalline light beings, the inner earth light beings, and then all the guardians and keepers of the power spots, and our star families that are in the earth as well. And just incredible, just incredible. So I'm really curious. It would be really fun to hear, you know, what's been present for you. If you want to write it in chat or in comments on YouTube, just really what's been alive for you, what's been really maybe coming through your heart, coming through your body, coming through your knowing, that is, you know, enriching, inspiring, and wanting to have more presence in your awareness in your life. And maybe it's a vision, maybe it's something you want to take action on, or maybe it's something that's falling away and it's freeing up all this energy. And I feel like we're kind of feeling all of it, you know, at the same time. But I'd love to hear what you're experiencing if you want to share. And another piece that's been really coming alive more is the elementals and the dragons and those guardian beings that way. And I know during our I believe our new moon ceremony, we worked with dragons, and just how powerful, you know, the ancestors and the dragons came through to support the space and support this deep sense of self, this deep sense of our power, this deep sense of who we are in a body at this time. And so as I was sitting with all this energy and just feeling the flow of what was taking place in the collective, and then noticing, you know, just what was happening in my own life, in my own space, and, you know, just a very busy time for me, and a full time for me right now. Just several different projects happening at once and in the works, as well as, you know, just present moment life, you know, just amplifying, especially with spring and different activities. And as I was sitting in meditation, and I was just tuning into the inner earth and celebrating the newness of that energy that had come alive again through the earth, I was just noticing just the essence and quality and solidness and softness and power of life that happens when we really center and relax into our own bodies, and we honor our own life, and we honor our own unique path, and we honor our own unique timeline. And as I'm watching so many of you as well, just really saying yes to yourself, saying yes to your truth, and letting things fall away or letting things come up to process, that the geometry of our planet is, you know, been oscillating a lot, of course, because of all the different things that are happening on the planet. But what happens when we step into, or just relax into, center into ourself, and we're allowing that daily flow or fluctuation of our own mind, our own emotions, our own experience, while saying, I'm here, I'm present, I'm available for myself and my own timeline of this moment now. And just how precious that is, what a gift that is to honor ourselves and give that to ourselves while we're, you know, managing life, right? While maybe we're, you know, traversing many different things at once that are coming up through our mental, emotional fields, and maybe in our, you know, in our physical lives, and how it is that, you know, there's maybe those questions or doubts or things that show up of like, how do I navigate all of this? How do I bring this all into, you know, fruition? Or, you know, what does it feel like to do that? You know, those fears that pop up in the body when we're really stepping into our power, or the inspiration that happens when we're stepping into our power all at once, right? And when I say stepping into our power, it's really, the magnificence of that is not having to achieve something. It's more of when we just say yes to ourselves. That's our power. When we recognize our presence and our space of choice, to say yes to ourself of whatever is present for us and whatever is percolating underneath the surface, whether it's emotion that's coming up to process or whether it's an action, inspired action that's leading us somewhere. And when we can soften into those spaces, and I was just noticing that the more that we can do that, the more the collective, it's like the listening, the amplification of the listening of the universe grows too. It's like, ooh, okay. I was just watching and feeling this whole synergistic play in the greater field of the holographic field of our system of consciousness that is always present, always aware, always listening, always sensing into what's taking space, what's taking up the space, right? So by honoring our timeline, we actually take up more space with that energy of our presence. And so this isn't a pressure to go, oh, I got to get on my timeline. You already are on your timeline, right? And each choice, each moment is bringing forth whatever that timeline is bringing to you, is what you're creating. So we're having that like feedback loop, right? And so just to share my own experience with it over the years, it's been this it's been that, space of feeling pressured to do something, or okay, great. Well, I got to get on my aligned highest timeline, like, what does that mean? What are the actions? What are the things? What are the thoughts? What are the, and then going, oh, wait, what if I just listen? What if I just stop and listen? And I really feel, what's really coming through that inner sense, that more subtle sense, while paying attention to all the different ways that maybe my life is operating already, what wants to adjust, what wants to move, what wants to change. And really honoring those moments, honoring those experiences, honoring the possibility to slow down, step in, come into quietness, to listen, to really take up our own space, right? And I think that's so powerful when we're willing to take up our own space. And because a lot of times, when we're moving in the world and in action in the world, we're feeling like we have to take up space in the world, right? Like in our interactions with other people, or in our jobs, or in, our interactions with our partners, or whatever it is, family members. It's like, our space is deep inside, And when we're deeply centered in that space, then our natural, most aligned timeline just starts to come alive within our mind, within our hearts, within our bodies, within our movements, within our feelings, within our thoughts. And then, of course, then we have to kind of traverse the thoughts and emotions that come up when we get those, messages or urges, to do that dance of listening and really getting comfortable and clear with what we are receiving and with who we are from that place. And so right now I'm just sensing in the field and feeling in the greater field of our collective existence, so many more people just willing to, okay, I'm just going to go inside, go deeper, listen, allow. And I know some people kind of wonder about this, because when we do, just imagining us as a unique star or universe of our own being. And yes, we're all on this planet that is a planet in space within this greater consciousness of all the different planets and our sun star and beyond. But we're all our own universe right here in this body. We're a star all in this own body that has so much going on so many different levels. And we are really, when we sink in and honor the timeline of ourself, of our beingness here, present now, giving ourselves freedom to choose, giving ourselves freedom to feel, giving ourselves that freedom to move and think and be, then it allows the whole structure of creation to feel that level of harmony. And then more harmony happens, and then more synergy happens. And so for my own self, of course, it's been a progression, right, of of choosing and listening and allowing and being, and sometimes, those surrender moments and those action moments. And And a lot of times what we find on this path of going on in our life, we see, where we've maybe held ourselves back, maybe where we've judged ourselves, maybe where we've compromised ourselves, maybe where, we feel like these threads just keep repeating and we don't know how to undo them. And recognizing it's part of the timeline and it's okay. It's okay. Each time we have an opportunity to feel a part of ourself or a part of ourself emerges, we get to just notice it and have a deeper, more connected, communicative relationship with it. So thinking about it as like a relationship with somebody else, if you're willing to communicate and have that, it's like, okay, wow, I see that pattern coming up again. Okay, now how are we going to how are we going to move through this? So in this, it's funny because like the golden rule keeps popping up to, as I'm speaking, is like, treating others as the way you would like to be treated, but it's also treating yourself the way you would like to treat others, just really seeing that infinite feedback loop of life. And also treating yourself as you would like the universe to treat you. Treating yourself, that you would like to receive. So giving to yourself the way you would like to receive. And receiving with yourself the way you would like to give. So it's just a really beautiful space to start to contemplate. And so that whenever you find yourself, like I have these moments where it comes to me like, oh man, I feel like I've compromised myself in these different ways of maybe holding myself back or not, plunging into, this guidance that I was calling me, years ago, or, different things like that. Now I'm finally doing it. But then it just seems like, oh, what could have happened if I did it then, and all these things, these things that just come up in our heads, right? And these judgments and these blah. And it's like, wait, no, I'm going to honor that I'm doing it right now. I'm going to honor that I'm in this moment right now. Because then that builds that synergy and that energy and that space of connection that then can let all those other parts of the self to soften and say, okay, we're here now. Let's keep moving, let's keep flowing. And by honoring the now of that step or that movement or that change or that transformation, whatever it is, that decision, that even awareness of something, even coming into a first awareness of something is big. It's really big. And then our energy grows with it, our field grows with it. And then that's when the universe plops in, and says, okay, here you go. Here's what you need, here you are. Those are when the resources, the opportunities, the connections align and show up and magnetize. And I had an experience with this over the weekend where, so I have a small pontoon boat, and when I bought it, the slip was in a marina about a 40-minute drive from my home. And so I was working towards getting one closer to home, because there's, several different marinas going down this long stretch of the lake that runs lengthwise, east-west. And I was just like, I would love to be closer to home, And so last year I was putting out calls to the different marinas. Some I got on wait lists, some I don't know what happened. And I took a drive to a friend's house, and I went through a part of this area that I had never driven through. In the 3 years that I'd been here, I'd never driven through it. And it was just beautiful. It was all forest. It was one of the dams on the lake, and it just captured me. It was just so rich and so sublime. And the energy was like, wow, I got to come back here and explore. I got to come through here again and explore. I'm just in love with this land and the energy, and like the beings are talking to me. And I was like, yes. And then 2 days later, I get a call from a marina saying they had a spot open for me because I was on the wait list for last year. And I was like, okay. And then I looked it up on the map where it was, and it was like there, right there in that forest, like boom, that I had just driven through and connected with so deeply, right? And then it was like I'm walking up the mountain, and for a walk a couple days after that, and I saw an eagle feather on the ground, right? And I found an eagle feather. I was like, wow, what a gift. What a gift, And then that day I received the contract from that marina, and it was like Eagle 22, that's the slip, that I'll be in. And then I was in this space of like, okay, now I need to move the boat. So it's kind of a long story, but I said, now I need to move the boat, right? And it's like a 2-hour drive from on the water in the boat from the other marina to this new marina. So I'm like planning it out, trying, asking friends for some support because there's a lot of driving back and forth from one marina. We're going to drop off the car, get the boat, drive, and come back around. And I had one friend that was going to help out on one end. And so I was looking for another on the other end. And it just wasn't coming through. And so I just said, you want to know what, universe? I'm waiting. I have no idea how this is going to work out smoothly. And I'm just here. I'm just here. And a friend calls me up knowing that I was moving my boat and says, hey, I'm willing to do this, this, and this, and this. And boom, it was just like done. It was like, great, we're going, you're driving us out to our boat. We're all together taking the ride, myself and my son taking the ride down the lake, dropping it off at the marina. And then, he drove to the marina where, the slip was, we met there. And then, he's going to drive us back, to our car. And so it was a lot of driving for everybody on the water and on land. But it was just like, wow. Just those moments when things just fall into place because we say, I'm open to it falling into place. And I have no idea how it's going to be. And I'm going to honor this moment and honor and knowing that it's going to happen. I just don't know how, and I don't need to worry about it. I'm inviting it and not expecting anything but what's, aligned. And that is the place that's really calling us right now, is to step into that, right? Is to step into that. And, just to finish the story, it was really funny because when I got to the office in the morning where we were going to meet my friend at the parking lot so I could do all the paperwork for the slip and everything, the computer wasn't working. They couldn't get it up online. And then when they finally did, they're like, we went out to look at the slip and there's a boat in the slip. And he's like, what's going on? This boat shouldn't be here, And it was like, oh, okay. And so he's like, we'll have it figured out by the time you get here with your boat. So I get back in. They're like, well, we have this one open. It's Hawk 8. You can take that one. And I was like, okay. He's like, and if, you want to take the other one later, you can take the other one later when they actually leave. They told us they were leaving, but then they decided to stay to the end of the month and there was no communication there. So it was just one of those things like, okay, great. I'll just go into this slip. But what was really cool about it is that slip that I got put into is a lot closer to the parking lot and the ramp to go down to the boat. So I'm like, oh, great. I don't have to schlep my stuff that far. So it was just, kind of flowing with what arises and not judging it and just like, okay, it's going to get worked out. Everyone is working it out. And so this is where we get to trust that sometimes even when we're in connections with people that that aren't working towards working things out, that on some level, the universe is hearing you. And that to release expectations of others and how we're perceiving them working things out or not. And that we just stand steady in our own center. We stand steady in our own timeline. We stand steady in our own energy. Stand steady in ourself. And we keep drawing ourselves deeper into ourselves and having that shift, from others and those connections with others. And that's one of the reasons why I like to do that releasing of cords all the time. Because what happens when we step into our own center and we're holding our own center and we're deep in our core and it's so expansive in there. For those of you who do meditation, you go into that space, it's so expansive, right? It's the void, it's the all and everything. It's where everything exists and it's just moving through this perception and manifestation of this physical body, right? And what happens when we're in that space and we're really viewing and perceiving the world from that deep inner space, our field gets so much bigger. Our energy field, we have more capacity for our energy to really expand and our energy to really start to synergize with reality that we're creating more and more through the depth that we're holding within ourselves. So we're going to do that in meditation. We're just going to come into our center, come into our body, recognize anywhere we're maybe judging ourselves on timing, we feel we've compromised ourselves on our decisions in life, any of that, kind of gently transmute all of that. And then, any regrets or any things like that, decisions made, decisions not made, maybe where we've held on to relationships or different things too long, we just get to breathe some space into it, transmute it, and then come into our centered self, honoring our moment, our center, our experience, our life, our moment now, and steady and strengthen that. So I'm going to read some of the comments here that are present. Yes. Oh, hi, Ray, and cold and drizzly Maine. Sending you some sunshine. Thank you so much for holding space, Kami. Thank you. And Teresa, after the ceremony last week, I did a 3-day fast, and it was a beautiful, light way to let everything fade into the background. Even the chaos of the Canadian election, it shifted me, and I'm feeling so much more inside. Thank you for your guidance. Oh, beautiful, Teresa. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to flow with that energy and allow your body to lighten up too, to allow all of that to flow through for you. Beautiful. So much nice to feel that depth on the inside. Yeah. John Way here, excuse me. With the clearing of April came the clarity. With clarity of what I wanted to feel, everything showed up at once. Yeah, it is a lot, all good things. And now I integrate and adjust to creating new routines, new refined focuses as we peel away the layers, a new being. Yes. It feels like a renaissance period. Indeed, it does. I like how you said that. Yeah. The beauty of the earth is undeniable. A calling to creativity that is new for me. Ask for attention, painting, drawing, writing through all the original arts. Lots of synchronization within 24 hours or less. Thank you so much, Kristen. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Wonderful to read your words as well. Yeah. I wonder if anyone else had that experience where just a lot happened in a very short period of time. It happened that way for me too. Last week it was just like, okay, multiple different things landing all at the same time and having to, navigate the creations that were coming in that wanted attention and needed attention, and how beautiful and powerful that is. And I love how you're taking it in and integrating. Beautiful. It is a new being. Perfect. Oh, yeah. So if anyone on YouTube wants to share, please do in the chat. Oh my goodness. How wonderful, how beautiful this life really is. And also, forgiveness, any forgiveness. We're going to bring in forgiveness for self, compassion for self, because I'm feeling that is always welcome, right? That's an always welcome part of any transmutation and transformational process. So let's go into meditation. Let's go into a space of honoring our timelines and allowing taking the breath in and giving yourself awareness of your breath again. Anything that you heard here that is resonant, is asking for it to integrate into your body, into your space, and also welcoming anything that you don't need to hold on to from anything that was said, just asking it gently to release and relieve from your space. Yourself the awareness in this moment to settle into your seat, inviting again the wisdom of yourself that lives the deep core of your being, as well as in every cell of your body, and the light in every cell of your body, the DNA in every cell of your body, the energy in this space throughout your whole body and all around your body. Pure intelligence, the pure love that you are. Inviting yourself to come into a space of witness, observation, neutrality. Letting your mind, your body, your awareness to be neutral on every level. Connected through the perspective of your soul, of your higher self that's within you, that knows your perfection in every moment. Be neutral with ourself, neutral with the ego, neutral with the identity. If you wish to send the ego and the identity off on errand or go do something fun right now, just to send them to go shopping for you or go hang out on the beach, whatever, just to go take a break, take a back seat. Let your pure, neutral self be front and center. And through this out before you, imagining a blank white screen or golden balls of light. You would like to put in any experiences or thoughts or emotions that you have or had that have felt compromising yourself, to your life, to your choices, to your ability to make choices that felt more in line with who you are. Any regrets or resentments, any judgments of self. Let there be maybe one big golden ball or as many golden balls as needed. Just take in individual, knowing this golden ball is here to support. Let them all flow out. Anywhere that you're holding in the physical body, anywhere you might be holding in the mind, anywhere that you might be holding in the emotional field. Yes. Any deep sadnesses, angers, frustrations. Taking some deep breaths with it, allowing it to go deep into the cellular level of the body. Just welcome all the patterns that have been held in the tissue and the muscles and the bones in the body and the fluids in the body, and out, and just let them stream out into the golden balls of light. And as that's happening, we're welcoming a stream of white and golden light into the body to fill those spaces where all of that has been held, just to clear and bring in pure, clear energy of your wisdom, of your light, of yourself. Giving yourself permission. Free up everything that's available to free supportive moving the body to allow anything to move, breathing more deeply, or making sound if you need to support the movement of the energy. Ah, good. Oh. And then through those golden balls of light, surrounding them and gathering them up in a white bubble of light. That allows any thought patterns that belong to them, any emotional patterns, behavior patterns that belong to them, where there's been hiding or feeling like there's no choice or doubt or confusion or being not supported or feeling any of that, just allowing all of those thoughts, emotions, patterns to transmute into clear light, clear perception, willingness to allow yourself your own unique path, your own unique timeline, that all that good experience, welcoming all of those golden bubbles and that white light to transmute into just pure energy, dissolving, 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 transmuting into pure energy. All the golden bubbles become one pure golden bubble of light in that white light. Letting all the filaments of energy or anything within the body to continue, and any cords to those, to any places, people, timelines, and extrapolating this all the way out to any timelines, to anywhere that has come from, through any parallel lives, past lives, future lives. Bringing that transmuted ball of light, breathing it back into your space to surround you, embrace you from the pure light of source, the pure light of source, the pure light of your soul, the pure light of your being. As we welcome through, as this is coming in, forgiveness and compassion for yourself, for anything that you might have felt or said or done. Through any of that, as this light is coming in, it's coming in and streaming in through your energy body and physical body, your mind, your heart. Your cells to soften your mind, to soften your heart, to soften your body into the quietness of strength, the quietness of clarity, the purity of self, right here, right now. Welcoming that to flow through the body. Compassion, many other qualities you want to bring to yourself, you want to highlight, that you want to open, that you want to feel, that you want to be. That you are inviting those frequencies that you already are through your cells, through your DNA, through your consciousness, through your awareness, to highlight Come alive, allow those frequencies to flow through your being. Giving great awareness to yourself and feeling your body with the willingness to honor this moment, honor you, honor your timeline of your presence, of this body, this mind, of this life. Deepen into your center, to deepen into your core. Pull yourself inward. Your focus with your attention to know yourself, to be on your path, to be on your timeline. In this moment now, at every moment, wherever it takes you, wherever you take it, to be free. Feel free to listen, know. Right here, right now is perfect and exactly who you are. Allowing, good. Letting this energy flow through the DNA to bring forth the programming of the body that's aligned with your perfect timeline of the now, that all that led to this moment, that all you'll lead it into. Softening the mind, opening your heart to yourself. Going deeper in, listening to yourself, feeling yourself. Inviting all that wants to be in your perfect alignment in your life, your mind, and your body for you to know it, to recognize it, actualize it. That all that comes up along the pathway with any thoughts or emotions or experiences that bring more awareness to certain aspects of yourself, that they're a part of the growth and the learning and the timeline as well. Allowing, good, paying attention to the brain, allowing any of the fear centers, the emotional centers that want to rebut this, allowing those to dissolve and transmute into higher consciousness, all the pathways of the brain, all the parts of the brain. We honor its function up till now, and now it's time to bring in more trust, more allowing, more surrendering, more inspired action and movement and knowing and being, stillness, quietness, centeredness, flow. Feeling and breathing into your body. Welcoming this light to flow down through the spinal column, down through the root, down and through the center of the earth. A refreshing light that flows up and down the spinal column and through the brain and into the heart and down through the root and up through the spine and down through all the nerves of the body, calming, quietly lining. Noticing what you feel in your body, what's present in your mind, what's present in your field, and feeling maybe that settledness, that groundedness, that calmness, and the expansion of your field. Breath in, feeling your feet, inviting this energy to integrate in its own pace, in its own way. And we invite ourselves. See a golden path for us. All this energy synergizes through the wholeness of our being on all levels. The next moments of the day, the week, the month, the year. That we honor our unique path, our unique timeline of self. To move your body a little, feel your hands, your feet, feeling the core of your body, welcoming yourself to be in a centered space within your body. Taking some deeper breaths into the body, inviting yourself to start to feel the space around you, inviting yourself to move from this space, perspective, this knowing, this experience every moment of your life. Noticing when you're ready, the space to open your eyes, to see the world around you from this new space. And noticing if there's any lingering thoughts or emotions or ideas, that you can come back to this moment or you can welcome them, transmute in your own way, in your own time, with some comfort and connection and awareness to be nourished, to be held. Inviting your whole being right now to be in a light of nourishment. Ready, coming to the space again. Love to hear from you what you may have experienced, or if you have any questions or want some guidance or support on anything. So if you'd like to, thank you, Heather. Sending you love too. Man, lots of body sensations. And I can't talk now. Woo! Lots of body sensations on my right side. Lots of movement, things moving out. Yeah. Shifting what's been held there. Move that. Yeah. Yeah. I was noticing a lot moving through the spinal columns, especially of people, just a lot. And through the root and the heart. Oh, and so many golden bubbles. Yes, yes. I hear that. Sure others can relate. Life is full of it, life is full of it. And so, when we can recognize that, life has been full of, traversing things that maybe we didn't know how to meet in the moment. Maybe we didn't know how, we didn't have the awareness in the moment. Maybe it was just, especially when we're children, or, especially during even the beginning moments of our awakening, throughout our whole process. It's being able to, really recognize that, we may not always make the choices that we know are aligned or feel that are aligned, or maybe even not even have that awareness yet of what that means of making an aligned choice, right? Or not listening to those gut urges or those sensations in our body when we are in those experiences, of like, ooh, what, that's telling me something, but we don't, or, so this is an opportunity right now to really shed a lot of that stuff even more. And I know that we can, this is a lifelong process of this honoring of what we have experienced, to then shed it, to be centered and grounded right here and now, right? So that we can, because, when we're kind of playing in the past still, or projecting into the future still, we kind of muddle the present. And it's okay. It's still the way the mind works and still the game that's being played. And so what we get to do is keep remembering to come back into the center, come back into this moment, come back into this body, come back into this timeline now. So we go, okay, right. I'm here. Those choices were made then. And I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm inviting the change. I'm inviting that opportunity to be here now and call the self back from any places that we think we want to get in the future, so that we can be here right now and not necessarily project ourselves into the future, that we're losing our energy into some unknown space, that we could be using this energy here now to create what we want in the future. Being that creative power, right? Creating who we are, that's going to lead us into the future, right? So really, it's really pure creation. It's really pure creation when we're in our deep center and honoring where we're at right here, right now, in every moment. So let's see. Yeah, thank you for this beautiful set point and grounding process. You're welcome. Thank you. Hannah, today was deeply supportive to the timeline I am on and the storms I have been learning and remembering how to be the I within. A lot of emotions have been flowing and almost alchemizing in a different way than I am familiar with. The peace co-created within this sacred space, it was very healing and needed. Many blessings, Kristen. Thank you. Hugs. Thank you. Hugs to you. Appreciate you, Hannah. Wow, what a great experience. I'm glad it was supportive for you. And yes, I like how you stated that, in the storms that I've been learning and remembering how to be the I within. And that's very well said. And that's what we get to do, right? We get to stand right in the center of it and watch it and be with it and follow, the threads of the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions that arise in those storms, so we can be right there with them and allow what's needed for us to have that space of choice when we're in those storms. And that's the place to do it from. Beautiful. Thank you. Teresa, so aligned with this theme today. Many light beings shifting in my awareness. Well, we fell radiant with remembrance. Blessings. That feel, not fell. We feel radiant with remembrance. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Great. Yes. 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 And it's interesting because, a lot of times it is a daily reminder. It is a moment to moment reminder to ourselves of, who we are and how to trust our path and how to trust ourselves and welcome, what's opportune for us right now to tune into that allows our being to receive, our mind to receive, our heart to receive. And so, a lot of times how we get to do that is to ask, go into that space within and just ask. And it can be, maybe it shows up in that moment, maybe it's later in the day, maybe it's tomorrow, however it is. But it's being willing to ask for the support of your higher self and your inner knowing that it's all right here, right? And that we can receive from our inner self. Yeah. Anybody else want to share what you experienced? You can write a question in chat or share what came through for you. Yeah. And as always, viewing, as always, I like to say this a lot, is that sometimes in our greatest struggles is our greatest beauty or our greatest gem, right? And it's underneath. And so sometimes we just have to sit with it and say, okay, I know within this, there's something of me, there's my essence. Because every time we experience something, we're still there. In a group that I led, it was like this thing of this idea of that we were speaking about was wholeness. We're always in our wholeness. We just might be kind of contracted a little bit and only seeing from this one perspective of ourselves. And so if we can sit there in this honoring of our timeline, we're honoring our wholeness, we're honoring our space and remembering that each part of our wholeness is still present. And when we have a moment that's challenging, the other part that knows and is able to and has that capacity and that ability to meet the storm or the challenge is right there with us too. All we have to do is remember that and say, okay, all right, we're all here together. How are we going to move forward? How are we going to be in this moment? And that's where we get to really, get into our focus, get into our attention. Where are we gonna put our attention and focus on what and how? With what attention are we going to look at our life from? What perspective? And sometimes we've gotten really limited to what that perspective is. So when we sit in that centered point of honoring our timeline and our wholeness, and it opens us up like, oh, wait, I could have that perspective. I could have that perspective. I could have this perspective, right? There's so many different perspectives that we could have. And when we can play around with the different perspectives of life, of ourself, of our experiences, and see it from these different angles, then there can be all this opportunity to, welcome more of ourself into the space that has the love and the intelligence to navigate it. So it's really beautiful. So I hope that this is supportive for you ongoing. And yeah, Andrea, in this conversation, I feel like I am the most important person in my life at this time. Well said. Absolutely. You are indeed. You're always the most important person. We are always the most important person in our life. Always. Always, always, always. Yeah, Teresa, one of my new affirmations is I am whole in the truth of my being. Beautiful. Yes, that's a great one. Yeah, and so this is where we really get to unravel that idea that we have to be whole for somebody else. We have to show up for somebody else, that somebody else, and that's what happens a lot of times too, like in our, in life, is we've got conditioned that we're here to do for somebody else. If it was for mom or dad, or if it was for the teachers, or if it was our, whoever it was. And sometimes I like to unravel this in the spiritual community. Is like, everyone's like, oh, you have, be in service, and it's like, yes, But from what place are you going to be in service from? Are you going to be in service where you're feeling like you need to project out and like show up for others or show up for something else, but you still are not yourself? You still don't know yourself. You're still not, and I'm not saying don't be of service until you know yourself. It's more of inviting that opportunity that it's not a split thing. And when you can show up in service of yourself, take care of yourself, nourish yourself, be with yourself, know yourself, explore yourself, honor yourself, then imagine the capacity you can show up with for others from that space. It's profound. And so, we don't want to compromise ourselves on our spiritual paths either. We don't want to compromise our integrity, and not just integrity of our choices or our behaviors. It's the integrity of our being, our integrity of our intelligence, our integrity of our makeup, the integrity of our love, our integrity of our whole being. And so, being selfless has its place, and it's really being the wholeness in the selflessness. That it's when we're in service, we're not doing it from ego or identity of that need, for validation, or that need for power, or that need for recognition. It's more for that just pure, like, wow, this is what's coming through me. This is passionate. Like for me, I get passionate when I do this work, right? This is just a natural flow of energy that happens. And it's like, I'm so happy to show up for you this way because it's what I do for myself. Right? And so when we can do it for ourselves on this level, wow, it's just beyond, we really don't, there's no really words to describe it. So it's just remembering, noticing, even, no matter what role you're playing in the world, as mother, as father, as brother, as sister, as, whatever role you play at work, whatever role you play with your partners or your children or your friends or anybody, that you are in your role of wholeness, and that you're just going to show up, whatever you're feeling is in alignment with that role in that moment. But you're always there if you welcome all of yourself. A lot of times we can do that, split ourselves up in all these identities and these roles. And then there's just like, where am I in all of it? So you got to welcome all of those roles back to the self, feel the wholeness in them, and welcome them to come into a flow and an integrity of your life force energy, and your choices, and all that makes up your timeline, and all these things that make you up, that you're choosing to create and do, and then be in that space and then say, now I get to show up here in this way. It's from that deep centered space of connection to yourself, not trying to connect to yourself through the external thing. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. Mary, yes, yesterday I experienced letting the divine take over. I was traveling to another town an hour away, and I was going to a concert, so I needed to arrive in time. Everything happened perfectly so that I arrived and into my chair seconds before the concert began. Yay! Cars on the road got out of my way, etc. Just amazing. Beautiful. Fantastic. Love the fluid creation that you did. Yeah. Yeah, and what's interesting too is, and it's really interesting. So it's that divine self. Like when we know that we're in motion and we're on our way, it's like we're surrendering into ourself and trusting that we know we're getting there. We know we're getting there. And our divinity is that divine space within ourselves. It's like, okay, I'm on my way. I'm coming. I'll be there on time. Or whatever it is, whatever we're transmuting, I know this will all show up and, have its divine space. And then the world, you're carrying that energy, you're embodying that energy. And so what happens is the world responds to that energy. You're in synergy with the divine, and the divine's like, okay, here we go. And it's not like the divine is some external thing. You are the divine, and you're creating the path. because you're embodying that energy. It's sublime, right? So Alice, I just joined the video not long ago, therefore I didn't catch the full discussion and plan to review the replay. Thank you. Anyone else have old trauma coming up out of nowhere lately? Yeah, some of that's been coming up. Absolutely. And I know other people, stuff has been coming up, and that's kind of part of what's happening. I mean, we're all going to experience different, sometimes when some people are, when numbers of people are, like feeling the trauma coming up. There's a number of people that are also going, oh, wow, I feel really great. Things are moving, things are flowing. And then, it just flops and, it's different, we're different. But I've had some stuff come up recently too, even in the flow of everything. And I feel like that's the power of that constriction and expansion that we're going through right now. It's like, whew, we got to expand. And then if we're going to expand, it's going to bring stuff up. So yeah, I hopefully the discussion and meditation will support you, Alice, and what you're experiencing. So we're going to, let's close the space. I appreciate everyone being here today. It's always an honor to connect with all of you and allow this co-creation for everyone that's present and all that get to listen to the recording of it and keep experiencing it, right? So just taking a moment here to honor yourself for being here, honor your moment, honor your life energy, honor your experience. And what's coming through right now, just to share as we're closing, is sometimes, when things don't feel good, like you're having experiences that don't feel good, it's like, how do I honor this moment? It's going, well, something doesn't feel good. Can I honor that I don't feel good? So even just, just seeing like, okay, just being present with the not feeling good, and then saying, okay, I'm inviting whatever information in this not feeling good is needed to support me in what I'm experiencing. Because there's always information there. And then breathing into it and saying, okay, I'm going to honor whatever is coming alive for me, whatever is here to transmute, to shift, to move. And that's part of the timeline, right? So just opening to what you receive today through your heart to allow you to feel the centered space of connectedness and peace and connection to yourself, to your life, to your wholeness, to your strength, to your centeredness. Beautiful. And may you all, may any and all cords that created amongst us in this space be released and come into our own individual space, releasing the energy, the white light around the group, and know that this recording is still held in light for all that come into it. So thank you, all of you, for being present and co-creating the space and the beauty here. And just also announcing I'm open for one-on-one sessions and one-on-one mentorships, as well as, if you feel to gift for our time together today, all gifts are appreciated. And those links are in the replay emails and the emails. So enjoy. We will be doing our full moon gathering on Monday, May 12th. So if you'd like to join us for that, I don't know yet what the theme is. It always presents itself as we get closer and the energies are alive, but I'll be sending out emails for that. So much love, be well, take care, and so much love and gratitude.
Hi,
yes.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Savannah. Thank you for coming on with your voice. Yeah. Alice, yeah, I honor them, feel different about it than I used to. I've proceeded a lot already. Perfect. Wonderful. Celebrating you, Alice. Wonderful. Be well, everyone. Enjoy.